Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to another one of our playthroughs of Werewolf. I have a Facebook Werewolf Dice Tower group, which you're welcome to hunt down and join if you'd like. And we get together and play Werewolf once in a while, so this is another one of our games that we played through lately. I find these to be fun and interesting for all of us involved, so I hope you enjoy it. So without further ado, here we go. All right. Let's get started here. Welcome, everybody, to Werewolf, our weekly game of Werewolf. I'd like to do it more often, but also I like to get other things done. It looks like we have 21 people playing. We are going to play with an indeterminate number of werewolves, so we'll let people know. If you've never played before, I randomly pick who everybody is. That way you cannot try to read into would Tom make so-and-so whatever role. It's just randomly done. I'm going to be randomly rolling up those rolls in a bit. But let me explain the rolls tonight. To make tonight easier, we're doing nothing new. All right, so we're going to be playing with, it's almost the exact same as last week with one minor change. So we're going to play with a random number of werewolves. We're going to play with a hunter. If you're a hunter, you are on the villager team. But when you die, you have a chance to take one shot without any input from anyone else. You can kill someone along with yourself. So if you die, you take someone else out with you. We have the Old Hag. The Old Hag is also a villager. When you die, you don't tell people you're an Old Hag. You just say you're a villager. If you're an Old Hag each night, you'll be able to pick one person and kick that person out of the discussion over the next day. That person cannot be hung over the next day, but they also have no input or anything. They can watch. If you are taken out of the village by the Old Hag, then you need to turn off your video and microphone while we are having the next day. We're playing with the Seer. So let me explain the Seer, just on the off chance people don't know how the Seer works. The Seer each night will ask me a question, and I will tell you that yes, someone's a werewolf, or no, someone's not a werewolf. You are allowed to share that info. I feel like the last 6 or 7 Seers have felt that that's not important, but it's good. Especially if you're killed before you do so. I'm not pointing any Seers out in particular. I just noticed, as someone did say in the strategy, sometimes as a villager, it's okay to die if your team wins. But anyway, so that's a Seer. The Seer, though, if you die, you say you're a villager. You don't say you're the Seer. We also have the Dream Wolf. The Dream Wolf is a villager, but the first time a werewolf is killed, the Dream Wolf becomes a werewolf. So if you're a Dream Wolf, you might as well be a werewolf, unless you tell everyone that you're a Dream Wolf and they kill you and you die as a villager, then you'll win if the villagers win. It's up to you. We have a bodyguard. Each night the bodyguard will protect somebody. They can protect, they and the Old Hag. The Old Hag can send someone out of town. You can protect yourself as the bodyguard. If you're the Old Hag, you can send yourself out of town. You just can't do it to the same person 2 nights in a row. And we have the Tanner. The Tanner's not on either team. The Tanner just wants to die. They prefer to die by hanging. If the werewolves kill the Tanner loses. If the Tanner miraculously survives till the end of the game, Kyle, then the Tanner also loses. That's almost a feat, Kyle. That's almost like a win, you know?
He was conflicted. Yeah, exactly.
All right. And then we're playing with the Lycan. If you're the Lycan, you tell people you're a villager when you die. But if the Seer looks at you in the middle of the night, the Seer will think you're a werewolf. And then finally, we have 2 last rolls. One is the Frankenstein. Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein, if someone else dies who has a role, you will get that role. You will know this because I'll send you a text message that says it. So I'll say, you are now the hunter. You are now the Seer. You could be like 5 roles unless you get killed. And we're playing with the Sasquatch. So
Yeah, we are.
I am not the Sasquatch.
Yep, absolutely, we are.
if you're the
We
Sasquatch,
all know the best strategy.
you are a villager unless the villagers go a day without killing anyone. If the villagers allow a day to go by without anyone dying, then the Sasquatch becomes a werewolf. Do I have someone here whose video is not on?
Crystal?
Crystal, I didn't think was playing maybe.
Oh, Crystal, you can play if you want to.
No, I'm working. I'm just watching.
Okay.
Got it. Alrighty. Well,
Hey,
then we only
Tom?
have 20 people, not 21.
Tom, since we added a different thing this game, the Lycan, does Frankenstein inherit Lycan also because that's a villager power?
Yes, I actually drew arrows on my sheet to show what becomes. So Frankenstein can become the hunter, the old hag, the seer, the bodyguard, or the Lycan. Those are the things. Again, you will know. I will text you. So if you're Frankenstein, keep one eye on your texts. And we're also playing with the drunk because I thought that was funny.
Oh, no.
That was cool.
So crazy.
If you're the drunk, there's a couple things. First of all, you don't know you're the drunk because you don't know you have a problem. That's the first step. Secondly, if you're the drunk, that means on the first day, I'm going to tell you you're a villager. On day 3, if you survive to day 3, I'll tell you what your real role is. If you have one, it could still be villager, but at least I'll tell you if you're the drunk. It's up to you if you want to share that with people or not. I mean, again, that is the first step.
And we could have a drunk werewolf, right?
We could have a drunk werewolf. So the werewolves at the first night, you may not have all your werewolves. We could have a drunk hunter. We could have all sorts of things. At this point in time, I'm generating stuff so you guys can talk.
What about a martyr? Are you playing with the martyr?
We're not playing with the martyr tonight. I substituted the Lycan instead.
The drunk will know they're drunk this game, though, as opposed to last game where they didn't.
Well, no, they
Yes.
died.
Wow.
They died while they were still drunk. You won't know you're drunk until the third day. I'll be like, you were the drunk. Now you are a whatever.
I didn't hear Bodyguard, but I assume we're playing the Bodyguard, right?
We are.
Yes, we are, yeah.
And again, you can talk while I figure out who's what. I am
Did
generating.
you say
the stuff
something to
now.
me, Tom? I thought I heard you call my name.
No, do you
Was
want me to call
was
your
that
name?
everyone's favorite game they played at Gen Con?
I'm still waiting for you to tell us how to play.
Who said that? Oh, Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to find it out as we go through it.
Okay. All right.
Pete, you've never played Werewolf before?
All I
ever?
know is I'm not a werewolf.
Okay, good.
That's good.
Mm. And don't get on
Boy.
Jason's good graces.
Oh, I hate Jason. I would never get on his good graces.
Okay.
Yeah, Pete really does. No, Pete doesn't hate me.
No,
Yes,
I
he
don't.
does. He says.
If Jason tells you he trusts you 100%, you're likely dead.
You're dead.
I always trust Pete. Pete is like one of the most trustworthy people I know.
Oh, Pete,
I'm
you're
in
good
gaming
at
dead.
this game.
industry.
Let him play.
Good with that. That's
I
funny.
took some classes at the Learning Annex, and I have an apothecary now. So I sell anti-werewolf powder.
Nice.
I'll sell it to you pretty cheap.
All right, let me see. Nope, I didn't make someone that. Okay, so Pete, each night the werewolves are going to kill somebody, but they are not going to kill anyone the first night. The first night they always kill me. Then each day we will vote to see who we will hang. There can be up to 3 votes. If someone can nominate the person, I need a second for that. Then we have a little bit of a discussion. And then we vote whether we want them to live or die. If they live, we can have up to 2 more votes. If 3 votes go by with nobody dying, then we go to sleep and the werewolves go ahead. And if there is a Sasquatch, they become a werewolf. We can also vote to say we don't want to kill anybody this day. That's a legitimate thing to do. All right, so I'm going to start texting everybody their roles. If you have a question I can answer in text about your role, that would be a good time to do it. Privately, of course. I would not do it publicly, but you can ask questions now about all the roles if you want to.
Okay, expect a large text message from me in it's about 30 seconds.
Can you please not make me a Sasquatch?
I'm not
It's
promising
random.
anyone anything.
Hey,
If
I
I'm
know
the Sasquatch,
Jason. I know Jason.
if I'm the Sasquatch, I'm going to say I'm the Sasquatch. I have no problem with that.
and I'm going to as well. And Mike, I'm sorry for what we did to you last game.
It
I
happens.
was
That
on
wasn't-
your side, Mike, for the longest
That wasn't
time.
nice.
I wash my hands of it.
I was on your side the longest time, Mike.
It happens. It happens.
Well,
Nobody,
if you voted not to kill somebody, so that we were going to have to kill the Sasquatch, that's effectively what happened.
yeah. That's all right. No big deal.
It seemed like such a
Don't
good
even
idea
want-
at the time.
Don't even want to talk about it.
I mean, I don't think it was a good idea. the
PTSD,
second
man.
So,
Steve,
Gertrude,
you sound so
are those-
sincere for
are
somebody
those-
that was a werewolf last game.
What's that?
Steve sounds so sincere for somebody that was a werewolf last game.
For one thing, that's why I think I had to do it in the on Facebook, because I don't know what I am obviously tonight, and I didn't want to sway anything by saying anything.
Oh yeah, Pete, what you need to know is that in every game so far, there's been at least one Steve who's a werewolf. So for anyone named Steve.
Excellent.
Steve has won every game. Steve has won every game.
If you
We
didn't
eat
know,
werewolves for breakfast.
We also won.
the shark behind Pete is named Steve, just so everyone knows.
And
It's also worth pointing out, though, that we also won a game as villagers as well. So, like, we're not all.
Yeah.
It's not all bad.
Right.
That was the game where I was the Seer and I came out on the very first turn and identified a werewolf, 2 werewolves on the first turn somehow.
Those are the games when the villagers have the edge, when the Seer is able to give their information.
Hey, if we're being completely honest,
No, we're not.
if I lived in a village and there was a Sasquatch and he like walked by and someone was like, "What should we do about that Sasquatch?" I would be like,
Good picture, quick.
Make him a sandwich.
I know he's not
But
a werewolf.
we don't know that.
Sasquatch.
You need to watch that movie, the movie with the whatever
Harriet
it's
Henderson's-
called.
Harriet
What?
Oh, that movie.
Yeah.
I don't want
Great.
No, there was a movie that just came out, an animated movie that has
Oh yeah,
the Sasquatch comes to town and becomes friends with the guy who's
Oh,
trying
Harry
to.
and the Hendersons.
I was waiting for
this
someone to
is-
say that.
Littlefoot, and that's gonna get some kids killed.
Littlefoot. Is that it, Littlefoot?
Littlefoot's gonna come to the town, and they're gonna be like, "It's like the movie."
It's a friendly Sasquatch.
Here in Montana, there's always like some kind of sighting of a Sasquatch, and so here we just feed them huckleberry pie.
All right, folks. I will assume that all of you have gotten your messages about who you are at this point. Double check. If not, let me know and I'll resend it to you. Also, I do want to point out that we may have let the villagers talk a little long yesterday during the day. We will try to keep that at a more reasonable clip tonight, even though the villagers did not really do much good for themselves by talking so long.
Exactly.
But it is what it is. All righty. One of you accidentally, I think I texted one person twice the same thing, but that's fine. All right. Remember, if you got something that said villager, there's always a possibility that you are a drunk. So keep that in mind. All righty.
But what are we in the game?
Again, I really wish Mr. Bonaker would show up for some, because the jokes are just writing themselves
Into it
here.
today. Literally during his happy hour, I tried to talk him into it again.
I know, but 7's pretty late for him.
Old man now.
He's got to watch Matlock.
All righty. Well, with that being said, I'm going to be muting everybody here. All righty. So I need everyone to close their eyes, and we will enter night 1. So welcome to this new wonderful village, which was founded by survivors of other werewolf villages, led by Tom Vasel, their mayor, who has survived, well, one village, but that's because he was the only person. Your bodyguard is here tonight, but they're going to be sleeping through the first night because they took an overdose of something from the vitamin store, but they thought it was just sleeping pattern. Doesn't matter. So the first thing we're going to do tonight here is, if you know that you are a werewolf, I want you to look up and look around and see who the other werewolves are now. So just briefly, you can see maybe there isn't any other werewolves. Maybe you're the only one. All righty, eyes closed. Thank you. All right, Seer, if you could text me real quickly, who would you like to know about? And I'll tell you if they are a werewolf or not. Thank you. You can close your eyes. And Old Hag. You can send someone out of the village. It can be yourself if you want to. All righty. Thank you. All right. Good morning, everybody. You can unmute yourselves. Welcome to this morning. So this village was founded on principles and honor, and now apparently blood. You find Tom Vasel dead, and no one's truly upset he talked too much. But you are concerned about that. Unfortunately, a message came in from another village, and Steve, Isaacson, you've been called out, so you will not be lynched or have any input the first night. So we'll see you tonight.
That happened last game too.
Well, just it is what it is.
So that means he's a werewolf again?
Yeah.
Well, now the rest of us are here. We need to decide who would have committed such a dastardly, well, it's not so dastardly, it's just Tom Vasel, but at least a slightly annoying crime.
Okay, I'm just going to say it now. I'm with Gwami, and I think the same thing should happen as always. The Sasquatch should come out. I don't care if everyone argued against it last game, but if the Sasquatch is out, I'm being perfectly honest here. If the Sasquatch is out, that's one villager that's 100% safe that the werewolves aren't going to kill, and we still have a chance to kill the dream wolf first, which means we won't get another werewolf, which means at most we'll get whatever many werewolves there are, which is why we should have the Sasquatch come out.
Let's define 100% safe. What was that?
Well, before we have the Sasquatch come out, Jojo, are you going to kill them?
No, but no.
Okay.
I would be turned on immediately. I know that now.
Okay, will the Sasquatch come out this game and help us?
I think we should let Mike speak. At least let's hear what he has to say.
Mike,
his opinion.
Yeah, I'd like to nominate Jojo.
All right, well, I'm taking this game seriously. Mike, is that a real nomination?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So I was the Sasquatch 2 times in a row before, and I want to know, why should, after what happened with Mike, why would a Sasquatch feel 100% safe?
I know, right?
All right, we should clarify for those of you who weren't in the last game. Mike Davis was a Sasquatch. People asked him to come out. He did come out, and then they instantly killed him.
No, a bunch of us argued that he should stay alive because he was safe. Sorry, a bunch of us argued that he should stay alive because he was safe. Jojo wanted to kill him, and then I had to also forced to kill him because I was Frankenstein and would have been killed. But a bunch of us wanted Mike to survive because he was safe, 100% safe because he was a Sasquatch, and we always kill someone.
He ended up being killed at some point.
I threw one of these up. That's all I'm saying.
And that was Gwami's strategy, and I think it's 100% the best thing we could do now because at least we know someone we shouldn't kill.
So last time we didn't have a Lycan. The Lycan would be much safer to come out.
Why?
Well, I guess they'd be about the same. They
could both come out. They could both come out. They're both on our team.
The Lycan and the Sasquatch should both be good to come out, but
both could come out. They're both on our team.
But the werewolves are going to go after the Lycan.
Yeah, the werewolves will kill the Lycan.
Yeah, they won't kill the Sasquatch.
They might if they're 100% confirmed, but they would still, I would think, want to kill the Seer before they kill the Lycan.
Very true.
If the dream,
if the Seer spots the Lycan, then they'll probably.
Speaking of that, I should mention that if you are, for everybody, it would not be a bad idea to have something to write on to show me on camera or to show other players, no matter who you are, for whatever reason.
Okay, so I will come out as a Sasquatch because I understand that Sonia promised huckleberry pie.
Wait, Julia, you're the Sasquatch, Julia?
Good deal. And I can even throw in huckleberry.
Okay. Wait, so Julia, you're the Sasquatch?
Yes.
Okay, no one else is coming out as a Sasquatch, right?
Wow.
No one else is coming out. Julia, you're 100% safe. There's no reason we should ever kill you.
Oh, no, when Jason says I'm 100% anything, that's fine.
No. In seriousness, there's no reason to kill you because you are like the safest villager.
Until we need to kill you.
That piece of paper works real good.
It doesn't
like
work at
a green screen type deal.
No one else is claiming Sasquatch. No one else is claiming Sasquatch, right?
No.
Correct.
No.
Does the Lycan want to come out? It'll help the Seer, because then the Seer doesn't need to look at you. Lycan, this helps us too.
If we
for Gwami's reasoning.
If we kill Julian now,
She doesn't turn tonight. Then the Dream Wolf becomes a werewolf. Tomorrow, the Dream Wolf tells us they're the Sasquatch, and then we kill them.
Which is why we don't kill her. That's the whole point of not killing her, so the Dream Wolf doesn't come out.
And then we kill
The
Frankenstein.
Dream Wolf wouldn't come out if we. Okay, but if we killed the Sasquatch, they wouldn't. The Dream Wolf wouldn't come out because we didn't kill a werewolf. We killed them as.
The Sasquatch is a villager that's 100% safe, Jojo. I'm gonna vote you again.
I don't want to kill.
100% vote you if you try to kill her.
Look, we're not
Mike on this.
I'm just
Here we
explaining what we
go.
did for last game.
Tom, I hope you got what you wanted with your Sasquatch.
Anyway, before we continue on,
The sleeping
if the
roll.
Lycan
Sat
comes
there
out,
for
it
five
helps
goes.
the Seer. If the Lycan comes out, it helps the Seer, so the Seer doesn't have to look at the Lycan. And it will help the Seer have to pick someone else. So I agree with Gami. Lycan should come out right now, too. Lycan, anyone?
But then what? But then the werewolves are going to kill the Lycan the first.
No, they're not, because they're going to go for the Seer like they always do, because the Seer is the most vital role. The Lycan is a worthless role, other than now the Seer doesn't have to look at someone.
But the positive is the bodyguard. The positive is the bodyguard would know who to save. So there is that aspect.
They're not going to go after the Lycan. The Lycan's the least person they'd kill.
This is my first time playing with the group. Is when someone is killed, are they then like they have to stay muted the whole time?
Yeah,
They do.
Yes.
Can I nominate Jason?
I'm thinking so too. I'll second that nomination.
Just
nominate in a second.
Wait, just to clarify, Victor, was that a real nomination?
That's a real nomination.
Pete, Pete, did you second that?
I am, because I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm tired of hearing him yell.
Jason, you have been yelling a lot here, but what's your defense?
Oh, that clearly I'm a villager in this game because I'm trying to do everything to help the villagers, including making sure that the Lycan comes out, which then the Seer doesn't have to look at the Lycan.
Wouldn't, now again, new, so take this for what it is, but wouldn't that also be a tactic that the more information a werewolf got, the easier it would be for them to win?
No, not at all. Not
I
at all.
haven't played, I
because-
have no frame of reference, but I think the werewolf's information about what people are would be much more crucial.
No, because remember, there's like X amount of villagers that are just plain. So
it cuts down on
So yeah, it'll be like a 1 in 10 because there's like
also,
9
it's two
villagers.
people that we're not going to lynch tonight. It's two people we're not going to lynch. That's the whole point. Now we have two safe people in our group. The more safe people we get in our group, the better it is.
I haven't played this before, but I mean, I know in other deduction games, when I was trying to be the bad guy, it was easy to always finger point, and you've been doing a lot of finger pointing.
Well, if so, then kill me. I'm perfectly fine with it. It'll hopefully help the village in the long run. So if you want to kill me, I'm fine getting
right,
killed then. But I
thumbs.
think that we shouldn't. I think that we should talk
Everyone
more.
put their this is vote number 1. Everyone put your thumbs like
Jason's
this.
not a
When I
werewolf.
say,
Let's clarify
when I
which
say
way for
3, if you want Jason to live, you'll point it up. If you want him to die, you'll point them down. There are people here who watch to see if you delay your vote. So keep that in mind.
Oh, jeez.
Ready?
He's not a
1,
werewolf.
2, 3.
He's not a
All
werewolf.
right. Pete votes down. Sonia, Jess, John vote down. Victor votes down. Jojo votes down. That's only 6. That's not enough. Jason, you're still alive. That's vote number 1.
I was gonna say,
So much
don't
more
pick
talking.
on Jason. Jason's the gaming machine. He knows how to play these games.
I know, but he
And-
can use that to his advantage as well. I've played games with him
He
before.
he can. But if he's a villager, he's going to be a really helpful villager. If he's a werewolf, he's going to be a really good werewolf.
It's going to take me a few
So-
day-night cycles to figure out the strategies of this game, but I'm just going with my gut for these first few nights.
There's,
so
there's
bear
a
with me.
strategy in this game?
He's
Maybe,
an
I
easy
don't know.
target. Yes.
It makes sense because the villagers have lost a couple of games in a row, but I feel like our village has taken a dark turn.
Mm-hmm.
This is the new village. Come on now.
Well, it is the darkest time.
My next question is for the Dream Wolf. What team do you want to win on?
That's a good question.
It's sounding like they want to win on the werewolf team.
So I'm going to throw some suspicion out there. I think, so first of all, Jojo said, if we kill the Sasquatch, which we all know it's a bad idea, so I don't trust Jojo. And then I know Pete is an avid board gamer, and he's like, well, I'm not really sure how to play this, but I think, I'm like, that sounded pretty fake to me. So those are the two people I'm suspicious of right now.
Were they again?
Pete and Jojo. Because Jojo said, if we kill the Sasquatch, and like, that's not even, we've already talked about that. And then I know Pete plays a lot of games, and he was like, I'm not really sure how to play this, but, and it seemed like he had questions that I don't think he would normally have.
Okay, I have to say something that Kwame said here is very good. That if the Dream Wolf comes out now and we kill the Dream Wolf first, you're a villager and you're part of our team that wins. So it's okay if you come out now and we kill you, unless you really want to be a werewolf.
Or
I
if you're the
agree
tanner.
with all the stuff Kwame's saying, like the Lycan and the Dream Wolf should come out because they're all on Team Good.
Oh, and while we're metagaming,
I'm gonna come out as the Dream Wolf.
And those are less people for the werewolves to
I'm
like.
coming out as the Dream Wolf.
To try to guess
right.
for the seer, yeah.
Who said that? Who said
That's
it?
me. I'm coming out as the Dream Wolf. You can kill me. I'm
Matthew.
fine.
Matthew,
I said.
coming
I
out as the
literally
Dream
said in the
Wolf.
post earlier that I'm willing to sacrifice for the village. So let's try this. I'm interested to see how this works.
So Matthew's the Dream Wolf.
Matthew's the Dream Wolf and he's going to die as a villager tonight. Now, if the Lycan comes out, it helps the Seer even more, to be honest. So hopefully the Lycan will come out.
Okay.
All right, time is up here. I'm going to need a
just nominate him. I'm fine with it.
nomination.
Oh,
yeah, I
we'll
nominate Matthew.
Who's nominating
Yeah,
Matthew?
I second it.
If you're the
If we
tanner,
vote off the tanner,
well
does the
played.
game end?
Yeah, well played if you're the tanner.
Oh.
Hang on. Before we put our thumbs, I know people are getting excited here. Who nominated Matthew?
Yahoo.
Yahoo.
And who seconded that?
Me.
Jason
So-
did? All right, Yahoo, it's your defense.
No, it's
Matthew.
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 I
Matthew.
have no defense. I'm just kind of curious to see if this is going to work for the. I don't know if it might be a disaster for me, but I want to see if this will work for the.
So true question then, if he's the tanner
Yeah.
and he gets killed, is the game immediately over?
No.
Game over?
If the,
If you're really the
He's
Lycan,
the
you better say you're
villager.
the Lycan now.
if the tanner wins, they win on their own besides whoever else
Gotcha.
wins.
Oh, it
Okay.
doesn't end the game. Okay, all right.
So does-
And if
That
I'm
would
dead,
not be
we don't
if
lose
I'm
any.
dead tomorrow,
All
Strong
Voting
tanner
for
flag.
Matthew. Voting for Matthew. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. Jay,
sacrifice.
Pete, Kyle, Sonia, Jess, Mike, Gertrude, Guami, Victor, Jojo, Joe, Jason, Yahoo, Anthony, Larry, and Matthew. Vote down. Matthew, you're dead. What were you?
I was the tanner.
Congratulations.
Knew it.
I knew it.
All righty.
Well played,
Ooh.
Matthew.
All righty, Matthew. Okay, everyone, I need you to go to sleep at this point. And Steve, you're welcome back from your night or from your day trip. Where is Steve? There you are. All right. Nope. He came and then gone. Now he's back. All right. All right. And so now there is 19 left in the village. All right, everyone, keep your eyes closed. We're going to start with the bodyguard. If you could tell me who you would like to defend. And I want everyone to realize that, again, not all roles may be in play. Someone is still drunk. Okay, I got that. All righty. Werewolves, who would you like to kill? It's a quiet night still. Hang on here. Okay. Thank you. Werewolves, close your eyes. All righty. Seer, who would you like to know about? Okay, thank you, Seer. All right, Old Hag. Who would you like to send out of the village? Got it. All righty. Good morning, everybody. What a night that was. It was quite a long night, but you know, some nights are longer than others. Probably you were tossing and turning. Should have taken some of that sleeping medicine the bodyguard took. That being said, a couple of news items here. Jason, you are being sent on a trip. So we're going to see you tomorrow. And unfortunately, Nick, you dead.
Oh. Wait, am I the only Nick? Oh.
That was a good try. Nick, and you were?
The actual, I say
you were a villager. Thank you.
Villager.
Ooh, information.
Uh-oh.
Good night. What?
That didn't sound good.
Couldn't be the Tanner.
Or could have been.
So
could have been.
maybe our Frankenstein has a new power.
You can.
So even though I was sent away, I felt like I was really in that round. So on the Sasquatch discussion, but I don't see why the Lycan would come out, because they're going to be out of the game quickly. And you know, once Matthew said that he was the Dream Wolf, you know, I didn't realize that last game, because I was the Dream Wolf, and it had never occurred to me to come out early. And as I was thinking about this, I thought about that as a possibility, but unlikely, because they'd be out of the game early, and you know, likely to stay in the game and possibly on the winning side. So once Matthew said he was the Dream Wolf, I thought that the real Dream Wolf should have maybe challenged that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of thought they might.
Yeah, I questioned whether he was a Tanner.
Because we mentioned he was a Tanner, and if he was, I thought maybe the real.
I guess, Kyle, that's how you play the Tanner.
There's no real
beautifully
reason.
Executed.
There's no real reason
killing
for the
the
Dream
Tanner
Wolf
wasn't the worst thing. Though.
challenge.
To save the Tanner, you mean?
Yeah, there's no real reason for the Dream Wolf to come out and save the Tanner, because it doesn't affect the game. Like if the Tanner ended the game, then they would probably come out.
Right.
So that the Dream Wolf wants to be a werewolf.
If we knew who the Tanner, if someone had come out, and then we probably would have guessed he was the Tanner.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not the worst thing, because we can afford to lose.
Right.
Exactly. We didn't kill a villager
at night.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, so I think we're fine.
Yeah.
So here's the question: if we actually thought that he was the Dream Wolf, and we were going with that strategy, what would the point be in that last vote to keep the Dream Wolf alive? Because my point being that people who just voted to keep the Dream Wolf alive, what was your reasoning for doing so?
I thought it was the Tanner, and I was right.
This is the first time I'm using this microphone, and I'm realizing that I'm not being picked up very well. So I really wanted to put in there that I suspect the Tanner, that he was the Tanner, and I wanted to stop that, because in my mind, the village just lost their Tanner, which we need. And the reason the Tanner wants to die, the reason the Tanner wants to die is because he hates his job. And so now one of us has to
do his job.
Do his job.
So he is. Either the villagers win, which is a real win, or the villagers win, but the Tanner also beat us to it. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't want him
Yeah,
to.
but it doesn't harm the villagers for the
It
Tanner to
doesn't.
win.
It doesn't. But I don't feel like it was a win.
And that's what we're worried about is who we're going to sacrifice in the in the early rounds of the game. So I thought it was good for the village.
And that first vote is always the hardest too. It's just scoping out who to take care of the first night.
Well,
so
you jump
Tanner
on
being gone may not be so bad.
Yeah, it's
I
not
mean,
bad.
just
The
because of
Sasquatch got
Yeah.
prevented.
Yeah, could have been worse. Could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
A
it
lot
has
of
been worse.
It has
been a lot of pro-village sentiment, and I would just point out that now that Tanner's gone, if somebody does want to come out of the Dream Wolf, there's no reason for us to suspect anything else. Like if we want to have a village win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the odds are in our favor at this point, personally.
Yeah, but if we have any hint at who a werewolf is, we would still rather count them. Although the Dream Wolf becomes a werewolf, forget that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll give
So
it- I'll give
either
him my
way,
2
either
votes.
way, the Dream Wolf is probably going to die, assuming we can find all the werewolves.
Yeah, unless the Dream Wolf dies early, they essentially are a werewolf. We just don't know when we kill them.
Right, but either
Yeah,
way,
so
they're
let
gonna
me
die.
let me clarify a couple things. There's
Please.
remember there's a drunk involved in this game. Okay.
Right.
Secondly, if the Dream Wolf is killed by the werewolves at night, they die a villager. Okay, so just remember those things. I'm not saying any of those things are true. I just want to.
Tom, can you explain again with the Lycan? I was trying to take notes down. When you said it's what I
The
wrote down was
Lycan is simply a villager. The only thing is that if the Seer looks at them, I will tell the Seer you're a werewolf. That is the only thing about a Lycan.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They will always be a villager.
Always a villager. Okay.
But Nick, when he
They're just
died,
a really hairy person.
Nick definitely. I don't think that was any. I think Nick really was something. I mean, when he started to say, "Do I
Right.
say?" Like I don't think he was playing it.
Well,
and he could have been the Lycan. He could have been.
Nick also was one of the people who voted to keep the Dream Wolf alive.
He did. Yeah.
Oh, he did. I really should have wrote down what
Oh,
everyone voted.
maybe he was the Dream Wolf then.
I got like 3 of them down.
Okay.
We're all positive. You got them all.
Nick,
There would have
If it was a
John,
Dream
and
Wolf,
Julia.
then that would be good for us, because then
I
that's
thought-
one less werewolf. The werewolf just
There
killed
would
their
have
own
been no
team.
reason for him to throw us off by saying that at the end. So
Then again, I feel like I don't know if anyone picked it up, but the consonant that he sounded like he was going to say, I thought it was either like I thought it was the F initially, but I think maybe it was the D, like it was like a.
I just heard him say I was the real, and so
The actual,
like that
yeah.
means like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm so glad we're all metagaming here.
You got to use every piece of information.
Right, we're just gathering information.
I do need a nomination, though, please.
So the Old Hag, right? The
All
Old
right.
Hag. I know in one of the other games we had a role where somebody sent somebody out and then they had a conversation with them. That's not the Old Hag.
That's
right?
not the Old Hag. That's a jailer.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, I forgot.
Hey, I have a question. Pete, what's your favorite board game?
My favorite board game?
Favorite strategy board game? Yeah.
Shadows over Camelot's been my favorite for a long time, although Star Wars Rebellion is making a very close push to that.
That's what a traitor would say.
I would like to nominate Pete.
Werewolf kind of answer.
All right. Oh, hey, hang on. Okay, Mike has nominated Pete.
I would like to nominate Pete. Yeah, if his favorite board game is Shadows over Camelot, and he's a strong guy.
Is there a second?
Hold on, let me finish my nomination real quick.
I'm sorry.
He's a smart guy. He's played strategy games. He's played deception games like Shadow, and several times now, like even when Tom was like, "Let me explain something," he's like, "Please do," like as if he's playing the dumb role really, really well.
Okay, that's fair point. But again, I came into this completely blind, so it's easy to play the dumb point. But I understand. But my question for
Hang
you
on,
is,
Pete, you don't. We got to do this in Robert's
Oh,
rules
yeah,
of
you
order.
have.
All right,
Okay.
so Mike has nominated Pete. Is there a second for that?
Yes.
All right, Yahoo seconds that.
Okay.
Pete, now you make your defense.
okay, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the exact rules of how this works. But how do the werewolves win? If all the villagers are dead, the werewolves win. Is that how the game ends?
That is
the
correct.
number of
That is
villagers-
correct. Okay. All right.
And
well,
the werewolves
yes.
will win if the number of werewolves is equal to the number of villagers. The werewolves immediately win.
werewolves immediately win. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, again, I know it may sound like I know what I'm playing a game, but I really don't. You're fine to vote me out because it's not going to lose us the game if you do vote me out. But I'm not a werewolf, so I apologize for the bad gameplay. But you know, I'm not going to be upset because it won't cost us the game. So go ahead.
All right, thumbs for Pete.
Costs who the game?
Do I vote myself or no?
Yes, you should vote yourself.
Okay.
All right. Hang on one second.
And up is stay alive and down is dead, right? Or is it backwards?
Let me throw one thought into here as well. As a moderator, so during the first night when Tom said werewolf, and then he very specifically was like getting the attention of the werewolf, now is the time that you would look at everybody werewolves. So he really defined it more so than just, hey, werewolves. So if Pete is the only person at the table saying, I don't know what I'm doing yet, maybe that's why he said it.
That's too meta.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm really serious about
I'm
this.
generally, I'm loving
I
this
think Tom's
because
just a good moderator and is including that for everyone.
that's true. I'm loving this because I get to play, because normally I'm the moderator, but I would also have to do the same thing and explain to somebody.
All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, Jay, Kyle, Jess, John, Kwame, Julia, Joe, Yahoo, Larry, and Mike voted down. Let me count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's enough votes. Pete, you are dead. Pete, what are you?
Am I supposed to tell the truth?
Yes.
My first game, I'm not kidding you guys.
No. All right. So Pete was a werewolf. Yes. All right.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Excellent.
And Jason is welcome back. All right, Pete, this is the point you can still watch and stick around, of course. We just have to ask you to turn your camera off. As we narrow down the village, and Jason's come back from his trip during the day. Alrighty, hey, you killed probably the only werewolf, except I haven't ended the game, so who knows? All right, we'll start with the bodyguard. If you're still alive, who would you like to defend? All right. And we'll jump to the werewolf or werewolves. Who would you like to take out? Thank you. All righty, Seer, who would you like to know about? All right, thank you. Old Hag, who would you like to kick out of the village? All right, thank you. All righty, good morning, everybody. If there was a drunk and the drunk is still alive, then you will now know what your role is. You can look at your screen and you'll know that. While we're looking at that, a couple other things have happened. First of all, Gertrude, the old hag, has sent you some sort of violation, the HOA thing, and you didn't follow it. So you're kicked out of the village briefly until you get your grass cut at a certain height. But while Gertrude's gone, good news. There was a lot of growling and fussing last night, but nobody died.
Nice.
Yay!
Good job, Bodyguard.
Good job, Bodyguard.
Nice job.
I'd like to say thank you to the bodyguard.
Bodyguard did their job. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was paying attention at night.
My God.
I mean, not at night. I was paying attention when I was.
Well, you're
I was paying attention.
What was that?
Wait, let me repeat.
What was that?
Wait, please let me repeat and go back. I was paying attention when I was on the stupid Old Hag thing and couldn't talk. And here's the things that I picked up, and whether or not they're accurate or not, this is my feeling on what I picked up. Victor attacked me hard with Pete, and he also voted to save Pete. And Anthony kept arguing about the Dream Wolf for the longest time, and wanted a Dream Wolf, and smiled about when we voted for Pete, and also voted up for Pete. So I feel like Victor and Anthony are the two werewolves, if there's two. But I feel like the two of them were clearly pro Pete, were anti Dream Wolves coming out. So I think that both of them are werewolves. If I had to take a guess on any.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I was anti Dream Wolf.
I mean, you know what I mean. You were arguing. You voted to save Pete. You also argued to kill me early on in the game. Even when I was saying the Lycan should come out, who I still think the Lycan should come out because it helps Seer. But you were arguing to kill me really early. You voted to save Pete.
Well, that's just because it was the first day and you're talking a lot. So I'm trying. I mean, you don't have
But
any
Pete
information.
said I was talking a lot too, and Pete was a
Yeah.
werewolf. And then you went on that bandwagon.
And I was just trying to play like devil's advocate and just trying to figure out like why the Dream Wolf would come out. Because it just seemed like likely like the Dream Wolf wouldn't want to come out because it doesn't make sense. They would just get voted off right away.
Yes.
I guess the ruling for villagers why we'd want to kill the Dream Wolf. Like playing logically, like I don't think they would come out. I did to save Pete because I thought that I really just legitimately thought he was a villager, and just the way we went about it seemed a little shady. Saying like, "Oh, Tom said to look around," or said to look around. I thought that was a little too meta for me, for my liking. But yeah, that was just my 2 cents.
Well, here's why the Dream Wolf should have come out, and I'm going to be honest, is because now the Dream Wolf was a werewolf. If the Dream Wolf came out and we killed the Dream Wolf first, we'd have one less werewolf in the game. So the Dream Wolf was supposed to come out, which is why we all wanted him to come out.
That might have been Nick.
It might have been Nick, but he didn't come out on the first turn. We asked the Dream Wolf on the very first turn to come out, and he didn't.
But he may not. I mean, that's part of his strategy, and that's okay.
I was just saying likely the Dream Wolf wouldn't come out. I agree.
I will tell you, when I played it last game, it never occurred to me to come out early.
This is based on Guami's. This is based on what Guami said, and it makes sense because it helps the village and the Dream Wolf.
How many times
now the
have you
Dream
guys
Wolf is a
played?
werewolf.
How many times have you guys played?
A lot.
And how many times? How many times have show villager win to werewolf win? Like which one's
werewolves,
more?
Werewolves win more often.
So I'm just I'm not going to argue for or against this whole Dream Wolf idea, but the idea that the Dream Wolf sacrifices themselves to be on a villager win. If your guys are typically having a werewolf win, wouldn't the Dream Wolf want to become a wolf?
Right. I'm telling you, you sound so wolfy.
It doesn't make a difference at this point. We have a Dream Wolf or the Dream Wolf likely was dead. Yeah, exactly. We have a werewolf. Exactly. We have a werewolf. So we have likely three werewolves by the Dream Wolf because we killed one, and the Dream Wolf became a werewolf.
Is there a typical amount of werewolves per game, or has this been random?
This is random. It's usually don't know. In the past, it's been 3, but Tom does random. Who knows? There could be 2. There could have been 4. There could have been 3. There could have been 1. No, there could have been 1.
Maybe there's 10.
There could be 10.
Usually there's 3 with the other addition.
So to answer your question, it is not random. There is actually a balance in the game. So the werewolves have a certain power, the Seer has a certain power number, and at the end of the day, Tom tries to make sure the balance is 0 across the board.
Yeah,
I did, but I will point out in the last game it was definitely tilted towards the villagers. That did not seem to do anything.
That didn't help at all. It did not help apparently.
The Lycan should have already come out, so the Seer doesn't have to look at the Lycan. These are all the things I've been trying to say.
Okay, well, what about the Seer? Does the Seer want to say anything? I mean, if they don't, that's okay.
Well, when did this? If the Seer wants to say something, they'll get killed.
You certainly want
Right,
that
they'll
not
get killed.
happening.
Okay, I'm on Sonya as a werewolf now. I'm on Sonya as a werewolf because she's calling for the Seer to come out.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I'm not.
That's
I'm
pretty
not
suspect.
The werewolf.
You also voted to save Pete. You also voted to save Pete. I said, and you're laughing now as I said you voted to save Pete.
Well, sure I did because I wasn't sure. But you have voted to get me out every game I played with you. So, and I've been a villager. Hold on. I've been
Tom
a
say don't be
villager
meta
every
in this?
single time.
Jason, I think it's scary to say anything because then you're gonna like launch onto someone and and
You
not.
do.
I 100% go with someone, 100% don't go with someone. You should know this.
I'm trying to follow your logic. If someone's going to come out, obviously the Lycan doesn't want to come out yet.
No,
so
the Lycan
let's go to a different. Hold on, let's go through a different avenue. Maybe the Seer, because last game that I didn't play, there was some information as me watching. I thought, okay, well, the Seer didn't say anything, and that's okay. They chose not to. So maybe they would want to this time. I mean, you don't know. You never know.
Yeah.
I would
It might
just
be a
like
little
to speak
early
to
for the
Dreamwolf
Seer.
situation.
A little early for the Seer.
If I was dealt the Dreamwolf, like basically sacrificing, I'm not playing the game. If I was
Exactly.
dealt the
That's why I
Dreamwolf,
didn't do
I
it
would
last
play
time.
as the Dreamwolf.
Exactly.
That was part of my confusion with it, because it's like, okay, you're in this game for what, 3 minutes, and then you're watching us.
But remember, we're all a team. As villagers, we want to win as a team. It doesn't matter as long as we get all the werewolves. At some point, we win as a team. It doesn't matter
But
when
if the
you
Dreamwolf
die.
had come out early,
Is
it would have
is
been
it
no
really
more likely
about
that he would have
winning,
won one way or
or is
the
it
other
about
way.
the journey?
Yeah.
It's the journey.
Villager team to win.
I have two
Apologize. I'm
things.
gonna have to kick Victor out.
I have two things.
Hey,
One,
it's my first time.
I agree with the Seer. It's a little too early for the Seer, but we do have a Sasquatch, by the way, so we do have a backup Seer. So the Seer did come out.
It's Frankenstein's monster, not the Sasquatch.
I think it's a little early.
Yeah.
Secondly, is it too early for the Hunter to come out? Because if the Hunter came out, at least we know someone who's good, and if the werewolves did kill him, they'd kill someone. I mean,
well, and the problem is that's a lot of pressure on the hunter. Like if the hunter has a suspicion that's wrong.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, that's two villagers dead.
I think if the hunter comes out, they'd be good. Yeah. We know they're good, and then the bodyguard, because we know the bodyguard's still alive, could at least protect them tonight. So we know that that's someone to not vote off at least a couple nights in a row.
Right.
And let's see what it is
That's
at least
true.
on the situation. Again, it
Yeah,
could be a little
I knew
early for the
that-
hunter, but that's just an idea that we could use in a couple of nights.
Yeah,
The
last
more
time I
people
was
that
the
come out,
hunter.
the better it is.
Yeah, the
The
last
more
time I
people
was
come out, the better it is.
hunter, I wanted to know werewolf, and when I had a werewolf, everybody killed them. And I was like, no, we should leave them alive so that if they try to choose me, I know I will kill a werewolf. But
That's a good idea.
I feel like the more people that come out, the more.
We have about
easily
15
different
seconds.
werewolves.
I'm gonna need a nomination.
Repeat, Jess.
If
feel
not,
like
we're
the
getting Julia's
more-
going to be a werewolf. If not, so we have to pick someone.
Julia's gonna be a werewolf.
Julia will become a werewolf if we don't pick someone, so we have to pick someone.
Oh, she came out. Yes, that's right.
I nominate Sonia. I nominate Sonia if no one else is nominating. I nominate
All right.
Sonia.
Hang on, let's do this in order. Jason nominates Sonia. Sonia, is there a second?
I'll second.
Kwame seconds it. All right, Sonia, what's your defense?
I am a villager like I've been every game. Villager, 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 villager. Jason, do not kill me. I'm a villager.
Then why did you ask for the Seer to come out? That's my
It was
question
just
for you.
because it was just a different strategy. Why not? I mean, you play different avenues within the game. I'm not trying to damage the Seer or anything like that. It's just a different perspective. I mean, why not? I don't know. It's just a different avenue. I am not a werewolf.
That said, and Jason, in past games, you've also said, and maybe it is one turn from now, but you've also said, Seer, say who you are, give us the information about the 3 people that you know.
Yes.
So it's not
But that was in a different game when we already had a.
All right, time to vote for Sonia.
Dreamwolf and other things.
This is the
It depends
first
on the game.
of a possible 3 votes.
I
Thumbs
trust
ready?
Sonia.
1. Jay. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, Jay votes down. Jojo votes down. Joe votes down. Anthony votes down. And Jason does. That's not enough. Sonia's still alive.
Okay, Jay, what about you? Because you and I are always villagers. So why did you vote me down? Come on now.
Well, still at this point, I've got a couple suspicions, and you're up there. I'm not saying that you are a werewolf, but you're one of a couple people I'm not sure about. I have one person I'm more suspicious of than you, but I don't necessarily want to say. But somebody's got to die. And
well, I mean, call that person out, unless it's me.
Okay.
Then no.
And again, part of it is I haven't played with Victor's. So
oh wait, are you calling me out?
You were the one.
Oh no.
Not nominating you. I'm
Okay,
not
good.
nominating. And the reason I didn't want to say too much is because we haven't played together So I could be reading it wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when you
Oh,
join,
yeah.
you haven't played with. But I did pick up. I mean, part of it was what Jason said. Like when Pete went hard after him, you know, you went hard, and then Pete went hard, and then you did vote to save Pete, and so all that was floating in my mind. And this point in the game, having not a lot of information, any information is some information, not enough for me to say nominate you, but you were kind of up there. And Sonia, I'll be honest, I think you're a really good player. And every time I played with you, I've never voted like to kill you, but I've always been a suspect of it. I've always been a suspect of it. I think that's just
Wanted to.
All right, I need a nomination for someone, please.
I'll nominate Victor.
All right, Mike is nominating Victor.
That was not me.
Joe's nominated Victor.
That was not me.
Oh, who
That
nominated
was me.
Victor?
Joe. I nominated Victor.
Joe nominated Victor. My apologies. Do I have a second for Victor?
Oh.
Guami seconds
I'm good
that
at
one.
seconding.
All right, Victor, what's your defense?
I mean, this is my first time playing with all you guys. It is also my birthday today, so that would be horrible.
Happy birthday. That's the best defense I've ever heard.
We're gonna need some evidence of that documentation.
I need to get my driver's license.
The birthday
so
defense is great.
the coming after Jason is because the first night you have no information and he's just yammering on, so it's half in jest and half funny. The Pete thing, I was just because the way it was kind of called out. I mean, it was the Shadows Over Camelot comment is kind of is funny into it, but the way it was we were coming at him, I didn't feel like there was any other evidence, so that's just my reason for saving him. Other than that, I'm just trying to have fun. So I'm a villager, and I've been sitting here waiting for round 3 to see if possibly I was the drunk, but I'm not that either. So I'm just plain old boring villager.
All right, thumbs for Victor. This is our second of 3 possible votes. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, Jay, Kyle, Sonia, Jess, John, Guami, Jojo, Anthony, Larry, and Jason vote down. Victor, I'm sorry, you're dead. What were you? Villager. That's correct.
Good job. On my birthday.
Everyone look at your text messages real quick. All right. Good night, everybody. And welcome back from your trip, Gertrude. Whew, what a night. All right. Don't forget, if you are the bodyguard or old hag, you cannot do the same person 2 times in a row. All righty. If you're still alive, bodyguard, who would you like to protect? Thank you. All right, werewolf or werewolves? Who would you like to take out? I got the person. Thank you. All right, good night, werewolves. Good night, werewolves. All righty, Seer. Who would you like to know about? All right, Old Hag. Who, if anyone, would you like to kick out of the village? Thank you. All righty, good morning, everybody. All right, first piece of news. There is a How to Be a Better Moderator class. John, you've been called to that. You're the only other person here claimed to be a moderator. I'm running out of ideas. You're out of the village today. You've been called out to grad school. All righty, so we'll see you later. And, well, Mike, you made it pretty far, but not through tonight. You are dead.
What? I knew that was coming.
We
I
knew that was coming. Yeah.
Yeah, you knew that was
And
coming.
Mike, you were.
Oh, I was a werewolf. No, sorry. I was a villager. Jojo was a werewolf.
He's a villager. Good night, Mike.
Good night.
You got to take your video off, Mike.
So Jojo voted me out. So Jojo, what about you?
Sorry, my daughter was asking me questions.
No, Jojo. The Jojo,
Okay.
not a werewolf.
I was muted. I did vote you out because I thought, like, I understand what you're saying now, but I think that's early for the Seer to come out. I do think that the Seer eventually, like, I think the Seer should come out as the Seer and give their information once they're under suspicion. Like, I think right now, I'm not sure that the Seer has given us much information, but sometimes the Seer will say something about, like, oh, I agree with this person if they're under the gun or something. And so I think at that point, if people have their sneaking suspicions that this person's the Seer, I think that's when they need to come out because they're going to die. So I just thought it was early, and I just thought that was suspicious. I didn't have much to go on, but that's just what I thought. That's it.
I have a question. Larry, what's on your mind, man? I hadn't heard from you.
Yeah, I've been kind of quiet.
Oh, there's Larry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Right,
I was just
great.
looking on the screen. I was like, "Where's Larry?" Oh, there he is.
Oh, I got you. I'm kind of at a loss. You know, I was kind of on the Nick wagon, unfortunately. I don't really have any clues for anyone yet.
So, Jason, if we said it was too early last day for the Seer to come out, now we have one more night of information. We have 3 nights of information, right? So if the Seer were to come out today and the Bodyguard protects the Seer, we would get 4 nights of information potentially. Because if the Seer gets killed by a werewolf, then we get nothing.
I agree, which is why I kept saying, again,
this would be the time for the Seer to
Steve,
come
can I
out.
say one other thing before you continue?
Yeah.
Which is why the Lycan should have come out, because the Seer wouldn't have had to look at the Lycan the whole game, which is what I was trying to say, and Sonia argued against it, which is why I still think she's a werewolf. Because
I didn't argue against it. I was just a different perspective. That's all. I wasn't arguing on it.
Jason, this is really an intervention. We've gathered together to see why you don't like Sonya.
I'm trying to go by strategy to help us, and the best strategy would have been the Lycan to come out so the Seer didn't have to look at the Lycan. It was one less person the Seer had to choose from. And I kept saying Lycan needs to come out.
I'm the Lycan. I didn't come out earlier because I thought it was too early.
No shame in that.
But we wouldn't have killed you. The whole point is that now you're safe because you're not going to get killed by the village. I'm in favor of that.
I didn't think
the last
Seer
game.
would look at me
Those are
for
just
a while,
words, man.
so I thought I didn't want any werewolf to I just wanted to be a possible Seer to a werewolf. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
Well, hopefully the Seer didn't look at you and felt werewolf, because if the Seer now comes out and says that you were a werewolf, I mean, obviously that was useless information.
Not necessarily. Then we might consider the possibility that she's the Lycan.
Although
we know she's the Lycan now. Unless someone else is claiming Lycan, we know she's the Lycan. It's plain and simple.
Right. So if
we don't know if any of the dead players are
the
Lycan.
point is that if the werewolf, if the
So now
Seer
it's-
comes out and says they saw her as a werewolf, then we would confirm that she's a Lycan.
The Lycan could have died, and they wouldn't
Right.
we wouldn't know that.
Right.
At this point, having lost the last few games as villagers, I'm on board for Seer coming out if they're alive. Please.
I'm very conflicted about that.
The Seer might have been drunk and not gotten any information except for one night.
Oh, that's right.
The Seer might.
That's possible.
Hey, yeah, let me preface that with if you have decent information.
Yes, if you have decent information as a Seer, come out. I agree.
I just think
Can I just point out, though, Jason, with regards to Jess, whether she should have come out as a Lycan or not, based on the fact that no one has made any inclination that Jess might be a werewolf at this point, means that they probably protect her. Because if the Seers checked her, they've gone werewolf. They'd be just trying to throw some shade over there. But no one has.
We've had games where the
some
Seer
point.
really didn't say anything though.
Right.
That's true.
And this is so far we're having the same issue.
Yeah,
And that could
Tommy
be good
hinted at that
strategy
at
or
the
not.
beginning.
But Jess not having talked much, it'd have been really easy for the Seer to just say, "Hey, Jess, what do you think?" And get her to start talking. So, yeah, I think that's a good point, Gertrude.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've had some Seers that have just been silent, and then later on we found out who the Seer was, and they hadn't said anything.
Do you think one of the people who died is the Seer? Do we think one of the people who died is the Seer?
Well,
But then we have our Frankenstein.
Yeah, then we have a Frankenstein Seer. So the Frankenstein Seer should say something because they've seen something, I guess. I don't know.
No, not
Seer, or say they're the Seer.
The Frankenstein Seer,
Well-
they don't get the information the other person had. So if the Frankenstein Seer just got the role,
That's true. They could have just
They
become
wouldn't
it.
have-
That's very
It's
true.
possible.
But what
But
what reason do we suspect that the Seer was killed?
We don't. We're just saying because no one's saying they're the Seer or saying anything. So we're
the fact
assuming
that
they were
the Seer-
killed.
The fact
Well,
that
there's-
they're not coming out means they either died or don't have good information.
Yeah, but
Right.
there's 14 of us, right?
What is
And there were
considered good
20 to
information
start.
then?
So the
I would say
likelihood
good
is that
information at this point we have 14 people. I would say if the Seer, if they could either confirm 4 villagers, it's still good. Or if they could-
I'd say even like 3 people. If they just know, even if they're all good.
yeah, no, I'm with you. 3 or 4 villagers
That's
good.
the
a
whole
werewolf
point. And
good.
the last game when I said that, the Seer had seen 4 people, and I said, just say who they are, even if they're all good.
Yeah.
That's 4 people we can protect.
Yeah,
And the
I
Seer
agree.
didn't say anything, and then died the next turn.
Yeah, it's
and
okay.
village
We don't know
lost.
what werewolf
And,
is.
I was Frankenstein, and I would have taken over the Seer, and we would have had 4 things, and I would have kept looking.
Well,
If you
I
know a handful of villagers and not a
Anyways,
werewolf, it's still
I'm
good.
gonna need a nomination soon,
And
folks.
Jan could be the Seer and could have been sent out of town.
If the Seer is
Oh,
not coming
yeah.
out, then I think
That's
the
true.
Hunter should come out for the same thing I said last round, where if the Hunter comes out, same thing, the Bodyguard could protect them, and at least one person who we know is good.
But the werewolves will never target the Hunter because it's too dangerous.
Exactly. So we just know that they're good.
But the Bodyguard wouldn't need to protect them.
Why?
Maybe
Why?
they
target
Like,
the
the
hunter
villager,
before they have
the werewolves
information.
aren't. The
I'm
werewolves
confused.
aren't going to
Who's
automatically
asking for the
kill
Hunter to come
the
out?
hunter.
I'm asking for the Hunter to come out.
That's very werewolfy because the werewolf will never kill the Hunter because then the Hunter gets a second kill.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
If the werewolves
what
don't
Kyle
kill the
said is
Hunter,
exactly
then that's
right.
good. Then we want the Hunter on the village team. What do you mean?
10 seconds for a
When you-
nomination.
It's
you
either
want the
going to be
Hunter
Anthony
killed,
or
like in
Sonia.
the early
Anthony or
game before they
Sonia,
have
and I'm going to pick
information?
one if no one says anything.
I'll nominate Jason just to keep it going then.
Well, then I
All right.
nominate Sonia.
Oh, hang on.
Well, it's too late
That's
for
not how
that,
that
sir.
works. All right. Anthony nominated Jason. Is there a second for that? All right. No. All right. I need another
Hey,
nomination.
Anthony called for the Hunter, so I nominate Anthony. It's
All
the
right,
only thing that
Jason?
makes sense.
Jason is nominating Anthony. Is there a second for that?
I second that because at the beginning of the game, it was either the first or second round, right before we went to bed. You were talking about the Lycan coming out, and there was just a this from over there. So I don't know. I would like to get more information. We still have another vote, so it's okay to not kill him, but that's just suspicious to me.
Anthony,
So there you go.
defense.
This is the Lycan.
Okay, so the Hunter thing, again, I think the Hunter is the same logic with just any role revealing themselves, because then we know one person who's good, the Bodyguard could protect them. If the werewolves tried to kill him, okay, let's say I'm confused why you're saying the werewolves wouldn't want to kill him. As a werewolf, I think the werewolves would want to kill the Hunter, because that's one less villager who we know is good, and if the Hunter just takes a random shot, there's a chance they can kill a villager. But I guess I see what you're saying if the Hunter knows who the werewolves are. But even if the werewolves didn't want to kill the Hunter, and if the werewolves didn't want to kill the Hunter, then that's still who we know is good every round, one less person to vote on. I don't see why the Hunter wouldn't want to come out then. And I'm confused what you mean by the Lycan. I don't know what you mean when you did. What did you mean, Jojo, when you were saying?
So it was like, I don't know which round it was, but we were talking about, like, Jason, we were talking about the Lycan coming out, which I don't exactly know how I feel about that. But it seemed like you were going to say something. And obviously that's not enough to go off of. Like, that doesn't mean that I think you're a werewolf or anything.
Okay, yeah, I absolutely was.
All I have.
Yeah.
And so then to hear Jess come out as a Lycan and everyone be like, yep,
Wait,
and you didn't
Pause.
say anything.
Pause. Hi, Jimmy. How are you? Hi, Jimmy. Tell Jimmy to say hi.
Hey. Oh, hey, Jimmy. That's
Hi, Jimmy.
All right. I need another nomination, please.
Well, we haven't voted.
No, wait, we haven't done a vote.
I'm sorry. It's for Anthony. Let's go.
Yeah,
Voting
so-
for Anthony. Sorry about that. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. Kyle, Sonia, Jess, Julia, Joe, Jason, vote down. That's not enough. Still alive.
For the record, the Lycan thing, I was trying to play devil's advocate again. I was just gonna say, like, a werewolf can just come out and say they're the Lycan. That's what I was gonna say, but I didn't want to say anything, so I was gonna see if anyone claimed Lycan first. That's why I waited. No one ended up claiming it. That was my logic behind not.
So anyway, there are two people I feel are safe. Jess and Julia, 100%. Those are the only two that we shouldn't kill. Jess and Julia are the safe ones.
Yeah, I was about to say. I wanted to say that generally in every game we've played, we've always had a quiet werewolf, and I was suspected Jess and Larry, but obviously Jess is not. I'm pretty sure. I'm thinking she's Lycan. So I'm leaning toward
be a werewolf, right?
And Julia, of course, but she came out as a Sasquatch. So
I need another nomination,
that takes away
please.
that.
I need another nomination.
And Kyle's been a little quiet.
Who are you leading?
By the way, guys, if we don't nominate someone, then Julia's going to become a werewolf. Plain and simple. We have to pick someone.
I nominate Larry.
All right, Guami's nominating Larry. Is there a second to that?
I second that because he was a werewolf.
All right,
before.
Sonia is seconding it. Larry, what's your defense?
I'm just a villager. If this is the third vote, I mean, take me out. You don't get a werewolf.
Is this the third? This is only the
Are
second.
we on our third vote?
This is the second
No,
vote.
this is the second vote.
The first nomination.
It's only second vote. So I'm a villager.
Go ahead. We're on the third. I need a nomination.
You were voting on
nomination
voting
right now.
You're voting on Larry.
Voting on me.
Voting on Larry. Okay, Larry. Here we go.
Is this the second or third vote?
Second.
The second vote.
Villager, don't kill me.
All right, ready?
Villager.
1, 2, 3. All right, Kyle votes no. Sonia votes no. Jess votes no. Guami votes no. Anthony votes no. You're still alive. Am I missing some people here? Because I feel like we've dropped down dramatically.
Oh, we're at 14.
We got everyone.
It's just you're in a different spot on the screen. You're in a different spot, Tom, so it looks weird.
John's screen and microphone didn't come back either. Oh,
well, he's
never mind.
He's still out.
On
He's
a
still
track.
out.
John's on an island to himself right now.
All right, no worries. I need a third nomination then, or else we go to sleep. It's up to you all.
Oh dear.
You have to nominate someone or else I'm transforming.
We know, and we don't want you to.
Julia, who do you think should we? Julia, nominate somebody.
Oh gosh.
I know.
I'm
Who do you
actually
think
starting to
before?
get suspicious of Sonia.
Yeah, Sonia was who I was.
Yeah.
I nominate Jojo.
All right, Yahoo nominates Jojo.
Hi.
Sonia seconds that.
Ooh.
Jojo, what's your defense?
I feel like it's kind of too late, but I don't know why I'm being nominated. I kind of would like an explanation, but I'm a villager, plain and simple. I hope that I was drunk and something special because I've been a villager every single time, but I'm still a villager. And I don't know why I'm being nominated, but it might make sense to kill me anyway because of Julia.
Yeah, I don't want to vote you, Jojo.
Yeah.
I feel like we have to.
Yeah.
Yahoo, why were you nominating her just before we voted?
Yeah, that was pretty suspect.
I have my reasons.
Gotcha.
What?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, got you. That's it.
Voting for
See what happens. See what
Jojo.
happens.
Oh.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. That was a unanimous, well, except for Jojo. Jojo, what were you?
Sorry, Jojo.
I was a werewolf.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Thanks, Yahoo. Thanks, Yahoo.
Nice Yahoo on whatever you figured out.
Oh man.
Good job.
Wow.
We're supposed to sleep now.
Yes, if everyone can mute themselves too, my mute all button
Holy
disappeared.
Okay, hang on.
Oh, because Jay's still the host?
Jay might have that power now.
No, it says on mine that Tom's the host again.
That's right. All right, everyone muted themselves. All right, good enough. All right, good night and welcome back, John. Just 1 second. We're waiting for John to come back from his very long exile. There we go. All righty. All righty. Well, that's probably all the werewolves, right? Feels good. Feeling pretty good about it. All right. Let's start, though, with the bodyguard. Who would you like to protect now? Got it. All righty. Werewolf or werewolves? Who would you like to take out? Ba-da-bum, 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 ba-ba-bum, bum. Ba-da-bum, 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 bum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum. All right, thank you. All right, Seer. Who would you like to know about? All right, thank you. All righty, Old Hag. Who would you like to send out of the village? Got it. All righty, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Well, we have some news for everyone. First of all, Steve, once again, you've been called out of the village on urgent business. I think it's medical or something, I don't know. We'll see you tonight. Secondly, once again, a lot of scuffling, a lot of yelling, but nobody died last night.
Yay!
Oh, yeah.
So,
Okay, so
I think a Yahoo should come out and say what he knows.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll come out as the seer. And if the bodyguard didn't save me, that would be awesome, because then he could save me next night. But that's probably what happened. So anyway, the safe
What do you
players.
know?
I'm going to tell you. The safe players are Kyle. So Jess claims that she's the. I'm sorry. She claims that she was the one thing.
Lycan.
The Lycan. And then I highly suspect that John is good, because I know him and he is playing as though he's good. So I didn't even look at him, because he's guaranteed in my opinion. Victor was good. Thanks for voting him out. And then Jason is good, unfortunately. And then last night,
You're muted, Jason.
You're muted.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jason, you're
Don't
muted.
tell him that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's perfectly
You're
fine.
muted.
And then
Jason, you're
last night I discovered another werewolf. So who did I ask about?
Oh no.
Critical.
Hold on. No, it's up here. I messaged it. Holy cow! It was Guami, and Guami is a werewolf.
Ah.
Can I say something just for a second?
Yeah, we know.
I want to say I trust Sonia more now, because I trust her 100% now. So I was going to say thank you for finally seeing that I'm good, but I trust Sonia more because she picked Jojo. So I'm on pro Sonia side at this point. I'm sorry, Sonia.
Y'all
I just
don't
want you to
kill
know
me
that.
because Jason trusts me now after like half the game. Come on, y'all. Don't kill me.
No, I
I'm a
just
villager.
wanted to say that so everyone knew.
Thank you, Jason.
So if we started with 3 werewolves, we only have 1 now, right?
Well, we know
That's
that
it.
We have no idea how many we have. We started
We
with
don't
question
know
mark
how many we
werewolves.
have.
Dreamwolf
If
is
it
a
was
werewolf.
three, if it was three, the first one killed the Dreamwolf turn, so then there's still three, and then we got two more.
We have no idea how many
and
more.
Jojo. Nick
Pete
and
and JoJo were the werewolves.
Okay, so
So,
there could
hey,
be two.
So
at
we
this
don't.
point-
I didn't say how many werewolves there were, and also anybody who was drunk the first 3 turns was a villager until they became good. Everyone else, that's up for grabs. The
Hey,
rest of the information.
So if we believe that Guami is a werewolf, is it a good idea for us to nominate someone else before killing him off?
I was gonna say, is now the best time for the hunter to come out? Because if the hunter ever dies, they can kill off Guami. If we did save Guami, I mean, we can still vote him off. I'm just saying that is a possibility. You know, if we left Guami alive, if the hunter ever dies, they for sure have someone to kill.
So now it's insurance. Excellent.
I will say that I noticed that Jojo voted second on Anthony, but then voted to keep him alive. And so I thought that was a little odd.
And
All we know is, I'm saying there's 4 people who are safe here. Me, I know I'm pointing right
Julia.
there. Me, Julia, Yahoo, and Jess are the only 4 that shouldn't be voted on.
And me. Why?
What is it? Oh, did you? Sorry, I was
Seer
muted.
said I'm good.
Okay, if you said Kyle's good, then Kyle also we shouldn't vote on.
Kyle is excellent.
I would just vote for Guami. I don't think we should kill a hunter right now. Or
No, I don't think we should kill the hunter. I'm just saying.
Myself.
Yeah.
Wait, why? Who's talking about killing a hunter again? I'm so confused.
But is there anybody we want to hear from before we kill Guami? Is what I'm saying. It's an opportunity. We don't have to vote them out.
2 people and just
Yeah,
vote
we
Guami
can
out
hear
third
from
if we
people
want
and
to
know
do
that we can still kill Guami.
I do
Didn't Jojo
understand.
nominate Sonya?
What?
Yeah, no, I don't
Didn't
know.
Jojo nominate Sonya? Like that's what was happening, and then Yahoo spoke up.
They have tried and no one
I
seconded.
nominated Sonya once. I nominated Sonya once, but that's because she kept asking for the Seer like super early. And I thought that she was a werewolf because she was asking for the Seer, but she went against JoJo, so I think she's good. At least I feel that way now. Like I don't want to say 100% because if I say 100%, then we know it's going to happen. But
hey,
sure.
I'm going to nominate. I'm going to nominate Joe.
I nominate.
And Joe, it's not because I think that you're a werewolf. I just hadn't heard from you much. I know we
All
can
right.
kill off Guami. And
Jay is nominating Joe. Is there a second for that?
Sure.
I second that.
All right, Sonia seconds Joe. Joe, what's your defense?
Well, I'm a villager.
Got it.
A suspect. So let me think of who I'm suspecting here, because I don't know that I have too much of a defense. I've just been doing a lot of listening.
Yeah.
Gertrude is another one that no one else has peeked at. Kind of curious about him. Larry, I still don't think is out of the clear. No one saw him. Anthony would be another one I'd suspect. Just because even though someone like thumbs up someone after nominating them, you know, there always could be some play there. And for Sonya too, someone can go against another werewolf so that they have some deniability to their suspicions. So,
sure.
So before we do anything here, did the old hag send anybody away?
Steve.
Steve's the old hag. Steve's got to be the old hag because he sent himself away multiple times. We know
he
that.
did himself the first night. So I was gonna say I think Steve's the old hag.
Yeah, I did when he sent himself, or when he went the first night. My first instinct was I think maybe he was old.
Yeah.
Even though I'll be honest, I thought that Peter Victor might have been the old hag because they sent me away the
All
second
righty,
night.
well, it's time to vote on Joe. All right, ready. 1, 2, 3. All right, Sonia, Guami, Jason, vote Joe dead, but that's it. Joe, you're still alive.
Wait, could I ask a question here that I'm really confused about? Why did we do any votes instead of just killing Guami? I'm still confused.
We can hear
To
the
get more
people talk.
information.
I just
I
nominated.
nominate Guami.
I hadn't heard from him, and I just wanted to hear from him. I wasn't.
Guami
nominate
has,
Guami.
hang on, Guami has nominated himself. Is there a second for that?
One second.
I don't think that's ever happened.
Who seconded that? Well, I need a nomination.
No, I agree. Okay, I understand why, so we get more votes. But isn't it now that I understand it? I'm like, everyone's going to vote up, so it doesn't make any difference.
I'm
other than
sorry,
if
I
we
need
wanna
a
chit-chat.
nomination at this point,
Opportunity
please.
to
That's
hear
fair.
from
That's a
someone
fair
if they
point.
haven't talked much.
And
We can
nominate
assume-
Sonia.
We can
All
assume
right.
that.
Hang on. Joe nominates Sonia. Is there a second for that?
I'll second it.
All right. Sonia, what's your defense?
Okay, so I'm a villager. I have played a villager many times. I'm a villager for reals. But my question is that Joe, I think, voted against me that first vote. I think you did. That's why I voted against you just now. And Anthony, I don't know. I'm not sure about you. And I'm really thinking it's you that should be voted on right now. But it's not me. I'm a villager.
All right. All right.
And the seer needs to find out that I'm a villager.
Can I ask a question here? Like, I just have a question. We are planning to kill Gwami, and we're just trying to figure out who might be more werewolves with Gwami, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I'm really confused right now what we're doing.
And if we vote to kill right now, it's going to go to sleep. Yahoo's going to be targeted tonight.
We're voting for Sonia here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. Everyone voted. Oh, Julia voted down, and so did Gwami and so did Joe. All right. That's second nomination. I need the third nomination.
Gwami. Gwami. Gwami.
Jay nominates Gwami. Sonia seconds it. Gwami, what's your defense?
My defense is that I might be the Lycan, or no, wait, no, better yet. Just really.
Say it's your birthday.
And that was my birthday like months ago.
Didn't work for Victor. Didn't work for Victor.
Put the thumbs up. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, that's unanimous, like totally unanimous. Gwami, what are you?
I am a werewolf.
All righty, thank you. All right, everyone, mute yourselves. Go to sleep, and Steve, come back. Steve, thanks for coming. All righty. Hey, maybe that was it. Maybe now you've killed off all the werewolves, but then the game would be over, and it has not. All right, we'll start with the bodyguard. Who would you like to protect tonight? All righty. Werewolf or werewolves? Who would you like to kill tonight? Thank you. Seer. Who would you like to know about? Thank you. And Old Hag, who would you like to kick out? All righty. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our wonderful world of no werewolves. So it is now Gertrude. You've been called out of town on business. I wouldn't understand it because I'm American, but you've been called out of town. We'll see you tomorrow. And to the surprise of everyone, Yahoo, you're dead.
Oh no.
And Yahoo was a villager.
Hopefully, I've given you enough information.
All right, you're also you're dead.
Good job,
Yes, Yahoo. In your deadness, thank you for everything you did.
Thank you.
Trust me, we appreciate it. The bodyguard can't protect the same person 2 nights in a row. We know this, which is why Kyle said Yahoo's going to be dead no matter
All right,
what.
a couple comments here at night. Don't forget to mute yourselves. I can't, for some reason, it's not letting me mute everybody right now, but some people are not muting themselves. So.
I heard heavy breathing.
There were two.
Okay. So it's
there were-
possible we have a Frankenstein's monster.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, John.
All right. There were two nights where nobody was killed because of Bodyguard. However, they were alternating nights. So either the Bodyguard saved themselves each of those nights, or the Bodyguard currently has information about who probably is not werewolves those 2 nights.
I think it's safe to assume the Bodyguard saved Yahoo last night or the night before.
Yes.
They came out there with the Seer.
100% safe to assume the Bodyguard.
And
That's what Kyle said.
And I think
So,
the Bodyguard saved Mike early on one night.
Right. Yeah, it was Rob. Pretty obvious.
Was there a term where someone didn't die other than?
It was
There
Mike.
was.
So
Why do you
Yeah,
assume
the
it
day
was
that Mike
We think it was Mike.
The day that Mike nominated Peter and he was
Yeah.
a werewolf that
And then
night.
no one
No
died.
one died?
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it was Mike might have got protected. I do have a question. So
Mike. Who's Mike?
Julia and Joe, y'all think that Sonya is a werewolf?
Not anymore. I don't.
Okay, 'cause I saw y'all both voted to kill her last round.
So did Guami.
Right. And he was
but
a werewolf.
Guami wasn't a werewolf.
That's not the best defense, yeah.
That's true.
And Joe also nominated Victor and then voted to save him.
And I'm not saying y'all are guilty. I just wanted to hear from y'all. It's
I thought that was
based
pretty
on the vote last round.
Yeah, that
it
seemed
seemed like
very
y'all think that
suspicious.
Sonya's a werewolf.
His votes seem very suspicious to me.
Well, basically, I'm counting the people, and there's basically the people who could possibly be werewolves at this point are Jay, Sonia, Joe, Anthony, Larry, John, and Steve.
A
Even
lot.
though more than likely Steve has to be the old hag because he set himself away more than once.
Yeah, I think he's the.
I don't know if it helped. I don't know if it would help, but I'm not the old hag. Sorry.
Okay.
And so I don't know. I don't know why it happened the first time.
Well,
last
old
year,
hag,
too.
why do you not like Steve? What's your problem?
I guess it's a.
By the way, I have a theory. I'll tell you at the end of the game, but I have a theory.
While Jason was throwing out all his people, I mean, I believe that Jess is the Lycan, but just so in case you get to that, it could be a werewolf. I believe she's the Lycan, but just so you don't forget about that possibility.
Okay, yeah, there is that possibility, but
Yeah.
I highly doubt. I mean,
I like
maybe.
to play the devil's advocate. Just
And
think
the other
about
Lycan will
that
come out.
possibility.
Well, the longer we go in the game, the easier it would be to hide if you're a werewolf and say you're the Lycan. Yeah.
But then we'd have the real Lycan. Why wouldn't they come out and
They
contradict?
might have
the
died.
real Lycan
She
should
came
have
out
come
like
out.
mid-game, so they might have died.
And again, I want to
that's
remind
true.
everybody that any of these roles could have been drunk the first 3
Could
nights.
have been drunk, and they didn't. Yeah.
That's true. But here's the thing: we could always, if Jess really is a werewolf,
Yeah.
we can kill her
Save-
later.
I agree. Save Jess till the very end. Kill everybody else.
Exactly, which is
I
why I
agree.
named everyone else that's not safe at this
I agree.
point. It's the only thing we can do.
Larry,
Jay?
what do you think?
Yeah.
As you haven't talked in a
Jay?
while, Larry, what are you thinking?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm personally thinking Sonya is safe because Jojo was after her, and I think it's too risky as a werewolf to nominate another werewolf. Outside of that, I'm really not suspect of anyone outside of Joe, maybe. But that's all.
I have a lot of suspicions.
I want to hear from all
Everyone
six.
dead?
I want to hear from all 6 people, or how many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 7 people who we're not sure about. I just want to hear from all 7, so you guys all could give.
I'll say
an
something.
argument.
I think at this point in the game, if I was cleared by the villager, I'd be suspicious of me too. If you guys vote me off, I'll have no hard feelings. I think I'm a pretty high suspect. I also think that I've been contributing a lot of good knowledge to the villager team. But if someone has to bite the bucket, I wouldn't. No hard feelings here.
I feel
I
like
love that terminology, bite the bucket.
Bite the bucket.
That's combining.
Got this bucket with teeth marks all over it.
Yeah.
I
got.
saw Anthony and Sonia voted with Guami rather often. I agree that Jojo voting against Sonia or targeting Sonia doesn't make sense. So I'm thinking Sonia's okay. Anthony, the only reason I think Anthony might be okay is that he's suggesting that the hunter could be some insurance, assuming Guami were still alive. That would be some insurance. Although early on suggesting that the hunter make himself known mathematically, if the werewolves kill the hunter, it's still more likely that the hunter is going to kill a villager than a werewolf.
that's the same when we vote off people. That was mathematically we're going to vote off a villager than a werewolf.
Yeah.
Same, right?
All right. Well, either way, I'm going to need a nomination, please.
I
What about
think
Jay?
Joe has been voting.
Your defense. I haven't seen a lot of suspicion go towards Jay yet.
Is that a nomination?
I nominate Jay.
All right. Joe's nominating Jay. Is there a second for that? All right. I need a nomination that does get a second.
I'll nominate Larry.
All right. Anthony nominates Larry. Is there a second for that?
I second it.
All right. Sonia seconds it. Larry, defense time.
We're back to the same thing as before. I'm a villager. You know, I think Sonia's safe as well. I was a little suspect of Joe. You know, Jay is, I would like to hear from Jay as well. He keeps asking everyone else to speak, but I don't see much else being thrown out from him.
Right.
All right. Well, it's time up for Larry. Thumbs for Larry.
I've written about 5 things on my paper. One of them was that Guami voted to kill Larry.
All right. Here we go. Voting for Larry. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All righty. So I have Joe is the only person voting down for Larry. All right. It's one nomination. I need one from someone else. Also, someone's computer keeps beeping.
I think
Jay?
Joe is on the wrong side of history.
Possibly. But we got to hear from Jay first.
Yeah, I'll talk to you. As far as suspects, I mean, of course, Jason's already listed who we have a good feeling is safe, which is, if we went with that, Jess, Julia, Jason, and Kyle. Then who's left? I'll give you my rundown. I've never played with John, so I don't really have a read one way or the other. Like, it would be dumb for me to throw him out there. I don't have a reason to say that I think he's shady. I've never played with Anthony. It's tough, though, because I've never played with him. He's an aggressive player in a good way. Sometimes that's suspect, sometimes it's not. But everyone else, the other 4, I've been suspect of Joe a little bit. I feel like we've played at least once before. There's something that feels different a little bit about the way he's playing, but that could be all me. And I'm reading too much into it. Steve, I give up. Someone else is going to have to be responsible for getting rid of Steve if he's a werewolf than me, because like the first time we played with Steve,
I'm not the old hag either.
I don't know what I'm doing, and then every time since then he's been like this mega ultimate amazing player, and
Terminator.
I don't know what to do with it. Larry, because of his being quiet, has been a suspect to me like Joe. But last time I played with Larry, he was just as quiet. He was also a werewolf. But I haven't played with him enough. I haven't played with him enough to know.
All right. Well, I appreciate the monologue, but we do need a nomination, actually.
They asked for it.
I know, but I'm in charge, and I'm asking for a nomination.
We need a nomination, or we can't not have a nomination. Because Julia still could turn into a werewolf. We need a nomination, guys.
Okay, so I think it would be
All right, hang on.
Joe,
Hang
Anthony.
on. Joe nominated Anthony. Is there a second for that?
I second it.
Sonia seconds.
This is
Anthony,
third.
what's your defense?
This is the third.
This is the second, because the first one wasn't seconded.
Okay. Like I said, if it was the third, I would have said, yeah, I mean, vote me off. There's nothing really I can do because, yeah, you have to vote me off rather than Julia. Second, again, I feel like I've said a lot to kind of prove my point that I have been trying to figure out the werewolves. But again, I still stand by. If someone has to die, you know, I'll go for it. You guys will see.
All righty, thumbs for Anthony. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, so we have Kyle, Sonia, Jess, Julia, Joe, John voting down. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, but you're dead. And what were you?
A villager.
All righty. Thank you. I need everyone to mute themselves immediately. Everyone mute themselves. And then close your eyes and we'll continue on. And also, welcome back, Gertrude. Yes. All right, cool. Let's start with the Seer, if you're still alive. Oh, not Seer, I'm sorry. Bodyguard, if you're still alive, who would you like to protect? Thank you. All righty, werewolf or werewolves? Who would you like to kill? Thank you. And Seer. Seer, who would you like to know about? Thank you. Old Hag, who would you like to send out of the village? Thank you. All righty, good morning. Good morning. Welcome back, everybody. You can unmute yourselves. Well, almost everyone can unmute themselves. Actually, there's good news. You check the mailbox and nobody's leaving the village today. Fantastic. You all get to stick around. Well, almost all of you. Jess, you're dead. Like very, very dead. Like werewolf slashed dead. I'm sorry. Jess was a villager. All righty. And now there are, what is there? 12.
Hey, I'll go ahead and say this. And you
10. I can't count. 10.
And there might be reasons to not believe it, and that's fine. But I'm the hunter, and I have enough suspicion now to feel okay about coming out and saying it in case something happens to me.
Okay. Did he wait till mathematically there was few enough people that the real hunter might be gone early enough in the game? No, I guess not. I still think it's Joe. I'm nominating Joe.
For me, because I nominated Anthony.
Why are you nominating Jeff?
Why am I nominating Joe?
Yeah, what you're thinking?
Well, he didn't nominate him unless you are.
No, yeah, I said I'm nominating Joe.
Wait,
I think he's been.
I just have a question.
No, Jason, hang on. We can't interrupt the nomination. He's nominating Joe.
I think Joe's been on the wrong side of history on all the votes. So the good people that have died have been Joe. Now, that said, I did just vote for Anthony, but that's because Anthony was my second suspicion. So I thought if Anthony dies, then we learn. But my next thing is immediately I'm going to say, let's nominate Joe. But then Anthony died.
All right. Is there a second for Joe?
Yeah, I'll second that.
All right. Steve seconds Joe. Joe, what's your defense?
Okay, I think it's a little early to be coming after me. I do appreciate Jake coming out as the hunter. That helps a little bit, but then again, he can also still be a werewolf. I still, Jay's mentioning about Steve and how someone else is going to have to take him out. Makes me suspect Steve a little bit more. But I'd like to have a little more discussion. That doesn't mean we can't kill me at the third nomination, but I understand the suspicion against me, but I think we need a little bit more time this round before we.
All right. Well, before we vote on Joe, anyone else want to say anything real quick?
I think Steve's good.
Yeah, I mean, I've suspected Joe based on his votes. Simply.
All right, voting for Joe. Thumbs ready. We need 6 here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, Jay, Larry, Julia, John, Joe, Jason, Steve. Actually, everyone except for Kyle voted Joe out, and Joe himself. Joe, you're dead. What are you?
Gertrude.
Villager.
Oh, Gertrude, you voted to save?
Yeah.
All right, Joe's a villager. Joe, you're out. I'm sorry. And that's night. Everyone, good night. Mute yourselves. That was a fast day. If we did more of this, I'd get better sleep. And all righty. All right, we'll start with the bodyguard. Who would you like to protect if you're still around? All right. Werewolf or werewolves? Who would you like to take out? Thank you. Seer, who would you like to know about? And Old Hag, who would you like to send out of the village? Thank you. All right, good morning, everybody. All righty, so some excitement here. The excitement is not in the mailbox. Nobody got mail. No one's being pulled out of the village. The excitement is that I don't want anyone to talk right now, but Jay, you're dead, and right now I need you to pick someone to go out with you because he is the hunter. No one talk, and I need you to know like soon or you don't kill anybody.
All right. Let me go Sonya.
Sonya, you've been shot by the hunter, and she's a villager. Well, she screams as she dies. So that's goodbye to Jay and Sonya, bringing the village down to quite a few people. We are now down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and no, 6. Sorry, 6 people. No, can I count? 7. 7 people, which means if there was 4 werewolves, the werewolves would win. The werewolves have not won, therefore there's not 4 werewolves.
Okay. So if we believe Julia from the beginning as the Sasquatch, and if Yahoo was right in that Kyle and Jason, if he actually looked at both of them and said they are innocent, you guys have no reason to think that I'm innocent except that Yahoo vouched for me, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything to you guys. I know I'm innocent, but that leaves Larry, Gertrude, and Steve.
Can I say something? Just so I think we're at a point now where every bit of information is good. So I'm the old hag. I sent Steve out twice before me twice because just by law of averages, Steve was the werewolf twice in a row. So I just assumed that he wasn't. So I sent him out early, and then I sent him out again. And my thought was that if he then I sent myself out, and I thought, well, this is a perfect opportunity if he was a werewolf to say that he was the old hag and then kill me that night, which he didn't do. So I think Steve is on the right side. So that would make myself, Steve, Kyle, Jason, and I think John, just based on the first werewolf that died, good, and Julia's a Sasquatch, which I think means Larry is the only werewolf left.
I ask you a question.
By the way, we don't need seconds anymore for
Can
nominations.
I ask a question to Gertrude?
Sure.
You haven't sent someone out the last 2 turns, though. Why is that?
No, because I'm only sending people. The reason is because I was only sending people out who I thought were good that also weren't cleared as good.
Wait, can I say something? I just want to be honest. I thought Anthony might have been the old hag because after Anthony died, no one was sent out.
No.
So my gut was that Anthony was the old hag. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if that is suspicion or not.
If you're not sure, keep me alive, and I'll send myself out next turn, which means I'm definitely the old hag.
Yeah, when I got sent out twice, I figured it was Gertrude was the old hag. So I knew it wasn't me.
So I wrote
I
down
think it's
Kwame.
John.
Kwame voted against Larry. So, and we know Kwame was a bad guy. I maybe was playing let's vote a werewolf, but I just don't know why he would vote against the werewolf for real that early.
Well, because sometimes sometimes that hides your vote. That hides who you are sometimes. That's the possible reason.
I think it's John, but he keeps giving reasons on why it's not me.
I'm gonna nominate Larry.
All right, Steve is nominating Larry. We don't need a second anymore because there's few enough people. Larry, what's your defense?
Still a villager. That hasn't changed. Can't change. I was leaning towards John because I felt like maybe we were putting a little too much into Yahoo's I know him, so he's playing good. But he keeps defending me as a villager, which I am a villager, so that doesn't make much sense. So I'm kind of leaning towards maybe it's Steve, right? They both got to sit out a couple rounds. Maybe we're not suspecting them because they got some free rounds.
All right, let's vote. This is for Larry. And we need 4. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And we have 4 down. That's Kyle, Julia, Steve, and Gertrude. Larry, what are you?
I am a villager.
That's correct. All righty. Larry's dead. Everyone mute themselves and let's go to sleep. All righty. We'll start with the bodyguard. Who would you like to protect tonight? Thank you. Werewolf or werewolves? Who would you like to take out now? Thank you. Seer, who would you like to know about? And Old Hag, who would you like to know about? All righty, good morning. Good news. Once again, no mail in the mailbox to send anyone out of the village. Bad news, Gertrude is dead. Thank you for showing up. And now there were 5.
Villager,
and yes, he was a villager. If there was 3 werewolves, at this point the werewolves would win. There's not 3 werewolves, so we continue on. There's 5.
Does this mean Gertrude wasn't the old hag because he didn't send himself out, or he'd be dead anyway? Okay, so dead.
Death happens before you get sent out.
Okay. All right, so I think I'm only left with Steve. I'm nominating Steve.
Yeah. So I'm a villager, but it does make sense that it's going to be either has to be me or John. So I'm a villager. If you want to kill me, that's fine. And then one other. I don't think the werewolf would win, right? By taking somebody else out. I think there's one werewolf left, and then you could do John. So I'm fine either. I'm fine either way. The villagers will win.
Well, before we vote on Steve, does anyone else have anything to say?
Well, here's the thing. If it isn't Steve, then it is Julia. And the Sasquatch just never, if there were another Sasquatch, they just never called themselves out as Sasquatch. Because Julia was willing to, and nobody else said anything.
Yeah.
So I think it's Steve.
Yeah, I think it's John. So you can kick me out, then do John, and the villagers win.
All right, voting for Steve. Here we go. We need 3 votes here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, Steve, you're dead. What are you?
I'm a villager.
All righty. I need everyone to mute themselves. All righty. We'll start with the bodyguard. Who would you like to protect tonight? Thank you. Werewolf or werewolves, who would you like to kill? Thank you. Seer, who would you like to know about? And Old Hag, who would you like to send out of the village? All right, thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It is a most interesting morning, so we need to pay attention because this is what happens. First of all, news came in. Once again, they're holding another werewolf moderator convention. John, you are being sent out of the village, which means if there was 2 werewolves, they would instantly win. Secondly, no one died last night. So let's continue on. John is out of the village, and there's 3 of you left. If there were 2 werewolves, they would win at this point. That did not happen. So go for it.
You're muted, Jason.
I'm really confused right now.
Yeah, me too.
I'm super confused. I'm super confused right now.
If it helps, I'm not confused.
I'm super confused.
I mean,
okay, here's the thing. If John's a werewolf, but we're still here, if we all vote to stay alive, then the next turn is that the only thing that makes sense? We all vote to stay alive, and then the next turn, John comes back and we kill him? It's the only thing that makes sense, like, based on the logic. Are we allowed to do that, Tom? Are we allowed to vote to stay alive? And then
Well,
John comes back?
you are allowed to vote to kill nobody this night, yes.
Is that the only thing that makes sense if we want to win?
But I think that, I don't know. I mean, if a Yahoo said that you were good, Jason, I remember him saying that. So,
and he said that you were good,
right?
And Julia, we know, is the Sasquatch.
But maybe what they were saying was right. Maybe Julia isn't the Sasquatch, and she just said that all along, so that way she knew we would never target her.
I think John's got to be a werewolf. It's the only thing that makes sense.
But if John was the werewolf, why would the Old Hag send John out?
I don't know. Are you the Old Hag?
I am.
Okay, then why did you send John out?
Why did you send him out?
Because he's not a werewolf.
Okay, I'm so confused then.
Then who's the werewolf?
I think you are, Julia.
I'm the Sasquatch.
I think Julia's the Sasquatch. I'm so confused.
I'm the Sasquatch.
I think John's the werewolf, and that
No one has ever contradicted it. So
Kyle, I think that John is the werewolf, and you sent the werewolf out, but we can't win.
He's not the werewolf.
It's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing that makes sense at this point.
He's not a werewolf.
You think Julia's been lying this whole game and she was not really a Sasquatch?
That's the only thing that makes any sense because Yahoo said that you were good, so that only leaves her.
I know, but okay, why didn't anyone else claim Sasquatch the whole game? And she claimed it on the first turn.
I don't know. That might have been a mistake on their part.
I can't believe that Julia. I can't believe that. I think that you sent the werewolf out, and then we should vote no one. It's the only thing that makes sense.
No, I'm telling you, I know 100% that he's not a
Well,
werewolf.
it's 2 against 1. If me and Julia vote to keep
how
no
do you know
one,
100% he's not the werewolf?
Because I'm the Seer.
Okay, I'm so confused. You're the Seer?
Because I'm Frankenstein's monster.
Okay, I'm so confused.
I'm the Seer and
then it
I'm
makes
the
sense.
Old Hag.
Then it makes
John's
sense.
not a werewolf.
Then yes, I think you're right, and I think Julia lied to us the whole game.
Yes,
I think
it's the only
you're
thing
right.
that makes any sense because
Okay,
John,
I'm on board. If you're claiming that you're the Frankenstein monster, everything in the world, and you sent him away, then it's the only thing that makes sense.
Well, here's the thing. With 3 people, we don't vote for anyone. Once it's time for a vote, you just each say who you want to die. If it's a tie, we talk until there's...
Wait, okay. Let me ask Kyle some questions and look me in the eye.
Sure, yeah.
Who did you vote to protect this turn then?
Me.
You voted to protect yourself. You sent John away.
Right.
Okay, then...
And they targeted me.
I feel like I need to trust you. Because, okay, if she is... whatever. I feel like I need to trust you. I have no idea, but I feel like I need to trust you. Because you're saying...
I know that John is not. I'm the Seer. I know that John is clean. We know that Yahoo said that you were good. That means by deduction, the only thing that could possibly be true is that Julie is
exactly.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm gonna tell you something's wrong. Something is not adding up.
All righty. Well, we're going to
Yeah,
go
you're
through. We don't need thumbs here.
Oh, we
Just
don't need
as soon as you're going to make an official vote, are you guys ready? And you each vote for one person. We'll just go in order here. Are we good? All right, Kyle, who are you voting for?
Julia.
Julia?
Kyle.
Jason?
Kyle.
That's 2 votes for Kyle. Kyle, you are dead. What are you a villager?
Yes, I am.
Also,
And-
Kyle is the
and
hunter.
I will now shoot Julia.
You will now shoot Julia. Julia, are you a werewolf?
No.
What?
And who's the last werewolf?
Yes! Boom!
Then how Yahoo said that he
I was
clean?
okay. I was a dream wolf.
Oh my
I didn't even know I was a dream wolf because I was drunk for 3 turns.
Kyle!
Said that he was
Guys,
good.
Kyle!
All right.
Kyle, how many turns are you going
I
to
was a
Kyle!
drunk dream wolf.
He got
He
tricked.
said he was
Guys,
good.
I can't give info, but for crying out loud, why did no one mention the Dream Wolf at all the last 5 turns?
Oh my
We assumed the
god.
dream wolf was
I
dead.
know why
That was
Jason
so
did it.
painful.
We got
Kyle.
tricked.
When Jason flipped at the very last
Yeah.
second, you should have been like, "What the heck? It's Jason."
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Julia, speak up. Speak up.
But you
Yeah.
said
You know
he was
you're
good.
legit.
You said he was good.
Yeah, but
was
Oh my
good. I was a
gosh.
dream wolf
Dream
drunk
When
in
I
3
looked at him.
turns.
And I told you, I feel
Kyle.
so terrible telling you he's good because I don't
I
want
was
to tell
I
you
was
he's
a
good.
drunk dream wolf.
Dream wolf.
I was drunk, so I didn't know I was literally
good
playing
when you
villager for the
checked
first part of the game.
But-
I literally was like, I'm villager. All
right, couple things. First of all, even if you hadn't been drunk, that wouldn't have changed anything. You still would have been the Dream Wolf. Secondly, I don't know if anyone noticed, there was a dramatic shift in Jason's behavior once he became a werewolf.
Yes.
Yeah.
He immediately got quieter.
You stop talking, Jason. You stop
That's
talking.
because I was like, I'm safe. I want to be quiet and let these other people argue. I went with to let everyone else argue because I'm safe.
We got tricked.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Steve got tricked.
I feel like
First
every
time Steve
Kyle
didn't
and
win.
Ed-
We
That's
definitely
the
made a
second
great
game.
Yes.
That's the second game that the drunk hid critical
Gertrude,
information.
Steve, I figure you were trying to save a Steve, so you kept sending me out and you out. So
To
thanks.
be honest, Kyle, I was worried that you didn't actually protect yourself and that you lied about protecting yourself. And if we killed Julia, we would have went to bed and I would have had a 50-50 of you or John, which is why I was like, I got to kill you now and let you shoot her.
No,
Because
I think that was good.
if you didn't kill anybody, Julia would have become another werewolf.
Yeah.
exactly, which is why I was arguing for that. I
didn't-
wanted
I
Julia
didn't
to
get
win
why-
with me.
That's what was suspicious.
I wanted Julia to win with me, but I thought Kyle forgot she was a Sasquatch, but he didn't. And then I was like, if Kyle lied about protecting himself, did you actually protect yourself the night before?
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, then
Kyle,
'cause I was
Kyle,
gonna
we
pick
all
the
love
kill.
you, but you held all the keys in your hand on that one.
That was
Yeah.
You held them all.
Oh, you
even
got
had-
tricked again.
It was
should have
fun.
seen our
I'll
Discord
admit, it was
chat
fun.
going.
But I still say that the drunk. This is the second game in a row that shows that the drunk can really throw everything for a loop. Because
Wasn't the
Yeah,
drunk
no,
though, just the
it
dream
didn't have
wolf.
anything to do with the
no,
drunk.
the Dream Wolf was drunk.
No,
You know what? You know what?
It
Through
I
doesn't
the
think the
matter.
way he
It was
acted,
still
the
good.
change in the way he acted is
What
kind
through
of
the
bad.
game is
know
the
that.
Frankenstein's monster character.
we made a dumb rookie mistake when Yahoo said who was safe. We didn't stop and ask him what rounds he
When-
checked.
Yeah.
And we always
Yeah.
do that, and we did not do that.
We all forgot about the dream wolf.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, there's lots of
I was the Dream Wolf.
nothing
I was
is
the
ever
Dream Wolf.
100%.
Listen,
Hey, Jason.
by the way-
Well
Jason
done, Matthew.
Levine.
Hold on. What
Yeah.
played?
Jason Levine. I just want to tell you, I was a villager.
He
I
knows.
knew that at some point, but at the beginning, I was a villager too. I was just a plain villager, and I thought that you were a wolf at that point.
all right, listen up. From
I was
all,
pretty
from
sure
now
it was going
on,
to John or me.
all games that I run, I don't. The other, if someone else wants to moderate a game and run it differently, it's fine. But no more backgrounds. Sorry, it's driving me nuts.
Yeah. You guys are holding up signs and you
I can't read the signs and give a
read them.
background. So just clean your rooms.
Oh.
And or put up a sheet or hide under a blanket or something. But I cannot read those papers. It's really hard.
I want to just say one thing because I got a lot of flack the last game for not telling everybody who was good before I died. But Yahoo did the exact same thing, and he was saved by the bodyguard. And then he told everyone. And
That's
it
true.
resulted in the
That's
same-
true. The bodyguard
Well-
saved you there. Yeah.
Well played, Jason.
But
saved
it
Yahoo and
wouldn't
I
have
saved-
mattered either way. So you should tell people the first turn because you're going to die in 2 turns anyway. So it's 1 or 2 turns. So just tell everyone if you're
Yes.
the Seer.
Oh, he did a great job. We just got unlucky.
Just
the way
Yes, Kwame.
that it turned out.
I was the bodyguard too, and I saved Mike. And then when they tried to kill him, and I saved that.
All right, I will redo my thing. If you can come with a board that I can read and prove it before the game starts.
Guami's was good the whole time.
Kyle, I feel bad, man. I said it in the Discord. You make it to the end every time,
and then I blow it.
Don't blow it.
And then he kills me.
Every time
it's the
to
second
the
time
end.
in a row.
I will say,
Go ahead.
it's still the only thing that's question is when Jason flipped real quick. That should have been it.
I didn't see that. Yeah,
I didn't suspect
I just
Jason
was like,
at all
okay,
once
he's
they
got to be
said
good.
he was good.
I
Jason
totally
kills
forgot about the
you-
Dream Wolf. I totally forgot about that as a fact.
So
But
my
nobody brought
nomination
that up.
early on of Jason, we should have just went with
At
that,
the
right?
time I voted,
We
I
take
was a
nothing else
villager at
away.
that time.
Victor was right.
Yeah, see? And
Yes.
I'm still telling you, it is my birthday, actually.
I actively
Happy
realized
birthday.
Jason was quieter. I actively
Yeah,
realized
I
Jason
think
was
we make a
quieter.
good
He's
team.
playing differently.
All
it's
right,
so
well,
nice
we're
to have
ending
him
the
quiet.
recording here, so if you're watching online, thanks for watching.
This has been 2 weeks in a row where it came down to the wire for us in the Werewolf game. And wow, I mean, again, these are easy games for when you watch them for you to say, man, if only so-and-so had done this and that, which is true, but also when you're there, it's really easy. In this one, everyone just forgot that the Dream Wolf existed or that it was possible for someone to have been good at the beginning and switch later on. And Jason played everybody through and through all the way to the very end. So an exciting game. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll keep putting up more of these as time goes by. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Werewolf on the Dice Tower.